Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. We are seeing shares of Eli Lilly get a big pop in this session. That stock up about 4% after the FDA approved the company's COVID antibody therapy drug for emergency use. Anjalee Khemlani has been following that story for us. Anjalee, this comes on the back of the Pfizer news we got yesterday. How significant is this news from Eli Lilly today?
Yeah, Kika. So what we're looking at is just sort of promising news as it stands right now, and just it's sort of inching closer to something that is better for being able to handle this pandemic as it stands right now. Eli Lilly's emergency use authorization comes with some doubts attached to it, especially from experts who point to the fact that their manufacturing facility hit a snag earlier this year, as well as the trial being put on pause for a while, as well as giving up on the idea of combining it with remdesivir, as we know that was one of the options to do that. But meanwhile, the FDA is saying that it's at least going to be helpful when it comes to the less severe patients. So those are those who are not on oxygen and who are entering the hospital, to help reduce those hospitalizations. So that's where the real benefit is right now. And the Health and Human Services Department is also saying that while the product itself will be free based on the acquisition of 300,000 doses from the federal government, which will be distributed to Department of Defense, Veterans Affairs, and Indian Health Services, among others, there will be some question as to the administration cost of it. It's an IV that's given to patients, and so the cost of that is still something that could come out of pocket based on what hospitals are reimbursed for that. So that's something to keep an eye on. And meanwhile, both sides noting that it is still an investigational drug, and that means more is still needed to be known about its real benefits. But as it stands right now, at least something added to sort of the toolkit for hospitals as we face, of course, the growing surges around the country. Now, Pfizer, on the other hand, of course, let us know yesterday that it had 90% efficacy on its vaccine candidate. That's that one that it worked on with BioNTech. But the real question around it is, what does that mean? Right now, that 90% has no context, no data to back it up. It's just something that the company told us. And so we're waiting for more details when it comes to the data after the observation period, which will lead into sort of mid-end of November. But meanwhile, we're noting that the production of it is continuing to ramp up, and really the hurdles that come after getting any sort of really good data is distribution of it. How will this product that has never been commercially tested, the mRNA platform, never been commercially tested, relying on an ultra cold chain to ship out, as well as the fact that it's a 2-dose vaccine, and that requires keeping track of who receives the first shot and how to get those same patients in the door to ensure that they are truly protected with that second follow-up. So all of these are things that the company has known will be hurdles, and is figuring out how to do it in coordination with Operation Warp Speed.